Do you have that feeling of overwhelm, feeling a little anxious, not sure where to put your time or energy, sort of spinning around in circles? Let's draw some things and talk about it. I have two solutions that really work. For those that don't know, I do community development. I'm an multidisciplinary artist, and I am pretty engaged in self-development. And so I have some tips and tricks too that really work. So I'm gonna flip you overhead. We can draw some birds because that's what I've been working on. And we can talk about what those two things are. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. I know that it's easy to get overwhelmed. I know that. Let's pick a bird while we talk a little bit about being overwhelmed. Oh, that's a cutie, isn't it? American tree sparrow. This book, by the way, is the Birds of Arkansas Field Guide. And I just love it because it has everything that's in my state. And they have these for every state. And wherever you are in the world, they might have this too. And I find this really helpful because those big books of like North America or, you know, just the whole country, it's just too many birds. And so it was really nice to get a really specific one. Let's see if I can clip this open to use it. I'm trying to do messy birds, but with a subject. So here we go. We'll just use this little one, this little guy. I might need something to like hold it down, huh? I need like a thing. Anyone have a thing? Anyway, let's just draw. We'll just draw and talk about what to do when you feel that way. You feel like you don't know what to do. There doesn't seem to be any really good options, and you're just feeling stuck, really stuck. There are two known cures for stuckness. Oh, that's a fat bird. Sometimes you just create a fat bird, don't you? Anyway, there are two known things for stuckness, and they are, you know, that feeling where you're just like running around in circles in your house. You're not actually getting anything done. You are just feeling like nothing you do is going to be the right thing to do. You know that feeling? I have that feeling. There are two things that you can do when you're feeling that way. One is to make something, like with your hands. And that could be cookies. That could be dinner. That could be drawing in your sketchbook. It doesn't matter what it is. But what is happening when you do that? One, you're offline, which I think is important because being online can sometimes add to that feeling of being stuck, right? And so I think that making something, it also is a brain thing. When you're making something with your hands, it's hard to ruminate. It makes it hard to just, you know, think all the things. And so giving yourself time to like make things with your hands will like help. I promise it'll help. And it doesn't matter what the thing is. It doesn't matter what the thing is. Don't think there's any like, oh, I'm not doing the right thing, because then you can get stuck in that trap, right? I'm not doing the right thing. There is no right thing. Whatever you do is going to be the right thing. So make something with your hands. You can put it in the comments, like, what do you like to make with your hands? Yesterday, I drew a little bit, I painted it a little bit, and I made a batch of cookies, and I made dinner, you know, with my hands and chopped everything all by hand. Loved it. It was great. Really, my brain just goes right into my hands when you make things with your hands. So that's one thing. The other thing that you can do is to, I'm going to hold this pencil further, see if we can get a little messier, is to do something for someone else. Now, I know the people pleasers in here are probably thinking, oh, I already do so much. I already do so much. Yes, I'm not asking you to like add another thing. Just, I know. But hear me out. Hear me out. When you do a nice thing for someone else, your brain goes into a different way of being. It says, hey, I have more than I need, more time, more resources, more whatever. I can share those things. And when I share those things, I feel better about myself. It helps counteract scarcity mindset, which is prevalent in the US, that you don't have enough resources. We have the most resources on the planet. So even if you're not, making a ton of money, we have more than most. So it helps counteract that feeling, which I find helpful. Also, it just makes you feel good. So yesterday, I had signed up a friend of mine. His husband had surgery, and a meal train was set up for him. And so I signed up and made my husband and I worked together to make a meal for them. My husband doesn't even know them, and was like, "Sure, let's make chili." So we made chili the night before, and then I made cookies yesterday, and then I delivered it. And it was great. It felt like, oh, well, this is like an active participant in my community. I'm doing something. I'm helping someone. It just felt like I have so much. And even when it doesn't feel like I do, or I feel like the world is too much or life is too much, I have so much to give. And so helping someone else, however small, however big or small, it doesn't matter. It could be a text to someone just to tell them that you're thinking of them. That might help. That's nice. It can be something more substantial, like whatever that is means to you, right? I feel like we forget that helping other people actually makes us feel better. It could be holding the door open when you go to the grocery store, right? It could be letting someone else get in line when they have little kids. That's helping someone. Like, it doesn't have to be some major thing. I think sometimes we overcomplicate it because we're like, oh, well, I don't have time. I'm so busy. I can't really help someone. I'm talking about it can be the smallest thing to really big things. Oh, that's a strange looking bird, isn't it? Yeah, interesting. I'm just working on, by the way, just trying to get the shapes. And a bird is mostly some ovals, circles, rectangles. So anyway, that's what I'm doing here. But more to the point, I'm just trying to encourage us, not just you. I'm trying to encourage myself to remember that if I want to get out of my head, because that's really what's happening. It's like when you're feeling stuck, you're very much in your head. If I want to get out of my head, I need to make things, and I need to help other people. That's the answer. That's the remedy. And I promise you, you will feel better. I would love to hear how you might implement this. I'd love to hear if you've done this, what that has done for you. Let's encourage each other. Let's encourage each other to do things, to not get lost in fear or anxiety. Let's encourage each other. Let's draw more birds, right? Anyway, that's pretty fun. That is pretty fun. I know it's hard when you feel stuck. I'm not going to tell you it's not, but I promise you those two things will make a difference. And one of the things that might be helpful is in the comments for people to list the things that they've done to help other people or to make things, because it might spark something in you. I think that we get in a pattern of doom scrolling and just in our heads, and that place isn't always great, right? It's not really great. And I think that we have to remember that we have bodies, and those bodies are meant to be doing things. And we are also humans, and we're meant to be doing things with and for other humans. And so I highly recommend. I think this is the antidote. It's the antidote that works for me, and I think it might work for you. Yeah, let's make some stuff and let's help some people. I think it'll make the world a better place. And so good to see you, and I will see you next week. Oh, and if you're catching up on Sundays, I'll see you on Sunday too.